What is up, everybody? It is Bro Raicho, you know me. Today we're gonna be going over the new Smite god, Morgan Le Fsy. A lot of you know already. Morgan Le Fsy is the newest character in Smite, and she is confirmed to be a mage. Morgan Le Fsy, the Dark Enchantress. So, as you can see below, they finally gave us a complete, detailed outline of all her abilities. So we're gonna go ahead and break those down and take a look at them. So right here, I think this is her passive right here, Empower Blade. It says Morgan Le Fay's abilities: mark enemy gods, also activating the shared symbol on her sword, providing magical power. Once her sword has gained all 5 symbols, Morgan Le Fay becomes empowered, gaining double the magical power buff and reducing the cooldown of consuming power by 10 seconds before all the symbols are drained. And you get 2 plus 0.4 magical power per level for each symbol, and it's a duration of 10 seconds, and the mark duration is 30 seconds. So if you ask me, this is basically about landing your abilities and charging your sword, and then you do more damage. So maybe she's going to be kind of more of a bursty character, where you want to play off your passive, and once you have your passive up, you can play a little more aggressive, and then you kind of like, safely farm while you are building your passive back up again. So for her 1, we have Sigil Mastery. Morgan Le Fay summons a crashing magical sword imbued by a sigil of her choice, which is briefly carved into the ground. Enemy gods are marked, while the sigil causes secondary effects. So the first sigil, Mark of the Mind, fearing enemies from the center of the sigil. So I guess you could have that kind of like Hunbatzel. It falls down, and I believe this is similar to that ability in her trailer where the sword flies down from the sky. But if you have the Mark of the Mind activated, it fears. I guess it's probably going to be pretty similar to Hunbat's mechanic. Mark of the Body creates a slowing field. That's probably going to be very similar to Olorun's. I would assume it's pretty similar to that. Mark of the Soul, spawning a decoy that attacks enemy gods hit for 4 seconds. So I'm curious to know if that's more of a Wukong decoy where only basic attacks. I assume so. Like there's no way it's gonna just be able to use a full rotation. It's probably gonna be pretty similar to Wukong ult, where it just summons a decoy and it tries to basic attack you. So the inner damage, as you can see, it starts at 65, goes to 95, 125, 155, and then 185 at max level, plus 55% of your magical power. The area damage, it goes from 40 all the way to max scaling at 100 and 35 of your magical power. So the fear duration is for 1 second, so it's probably going to be very similar to Hunbatzel. The slow field is 4 seconds. I'm not sure exactly how long Olorun's field lasts, but it's probably pretty similar. The slow, obviously, just slows you 35%, and the mana cost will be 70 at the highest level, and 50 at the lowest, going up 5 mana per level. And it's on a 10-second cooldown, so it's pretty decent enough cooldown. At 40%, you're gonna be have that every 6 seconds, so not too bad. It's pretty good. The next ability, her 2, Dragonflight. Morgan Le Fay summons a dragon apparition which bursts up from the ground in front of her, dealing damage and knocking up enemies hit. The dragon flies forward, dealing damage again, knocking them back. That's pretty good, I feel like. A knock up and a knockback. It applies Mark of the Spirit. So if you remember the Mark of the Spirit, it's actually not in this. So what does the Mark of the Spirit do? Is something with this? Who knows? Oh, what? Applies Mark of the Spirit to enemy gods. So it starts at 50 damage at level 1, plus 35% of your magical power, and it caps out at 130. That's the area damage. And then the dragon itself does 75, so that's like 120 at level 1. And then plus that, so it's probably going to be hitting for like 130, 140. And at the max level, the dragon caps at 175, so it seems like she's got some pretty good burst potential, for sure. The cost is 70 mana, 90 at the max. It goes up by 5 incrementally. And the cooldown starts at 16 and ends at 12 seconds. So it's going to be about 8-second cooldown, and the 1 is going to be about a 6. Then finally our 3, Shroud of Wildfire. Morgan Le Fay dons and sends forth a cloak of wildfire, damaging enemies and stopping on enemy gods. On expiration, the wildfire explodes in an area, leaving a 4-second debuff on enemies that continues to deal damage. While the debuff persists, enemies use a movement ability, Combust, taking damage again. So I guess if you try to dash out of the wildfire, then you take extra damage, so you're just going to walk out if you want to avoid that. Morgan Le Fay gains movement speed for using this ability and can extend the debuff on enemies with continued. Applies Mark of Matter to. So I guess she can just, if she hits you, it extends that debuff. So let's go ahead and look at the stats of everything. So 80 at tier 1, 200 at max level. That's a lot of damage, I feel like, for like a AoE ability. Damage per tick starts at 5 per tick, ends at 25, plus 5% of magical power. The bonus damage, so I'm guessing that's if they use a movement ability, they take an extra 60 damage at level 1, and then an extra 180 plus the 20% of your magical power at max level. Movement speed, so I guess this is like your movement speed. Yeah, this is your movement speed right here. You get 16 movement speed, and you cap at 24%. So that's like full tier boots at max level. It's pretty fast. And the buff duration lasts 4 seconds, costs 60 mana, and never changes, and the cooldown is a static 13 as well. And then finally, her ult, Consuming Power. Morgan Le Fay rises into the air, consuming the marks on enemies in front of her, dealing damage and empowering her next strikes for a short duration. After, Morgan Le Fay can fire a devastating strike. 3 devastating strikes of dark energy, dealing damage and providing a missing health heal per enemy god hit. Initial marks consumed increase the width of the energy projectiles. Subsequent heals per projectile is reduced by 50%. So you get diminishing returns on the heal. Okay. So the mark damage at level 1 does 25, and then 85 at the highest, incrementally going up. 5% of your magical power. The projectile damage can do 250 plus 40% at max level, and 90 at level 1. The missing health heal, 11% off the level 1 version of it, 15 off the top, so you can be getting quite a bit of health back. The duration is 4 seconds, so I'm assuming what that means is you'll be up in the air for 4 seconds. And then the cost, 80 at level 1, 100 at max level, and it's on a 90-second cooldown. So if you do some math, it's going to be about 65, I believe, 65 to 70 seconds at max level, I think, about if you're at like if you're capped on cooldown reduction. And then, of course, as a little extra, you have some new god skins. You have the standard recolor Morgan Le Fay. Looks pretty cool. The Ascended as well. I don't know what these buttons do, but we'll see.
I was driven away from Camelot and banished.
Oh.
But my return is imminent.
Okay.
All will learn to respect and revere Morgan Le Fay.
So does it stop, or does it just keep going? Okay. So, okay. So, and then she has the gold skin, and then... So anyway, guys, that's the overview of Morgan Le Fay. I'm very excited to play her. As you guys probably don't know this, but my preferred roles are solo and mid. So I definitely want to try her out. She seems very reliant. I think you want to play off your passive for sure. And, get these marks, tacked onto each other and then try to, burst someone down. All her abilities seem like they rely off each other. So I feel like she's going to be kind of like a harder Tiamat, basically. But we'll see how she is and how she performs when the game comes out. I believe she'll come out on the PTS here pretty soon. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm BroRideShow. And as always, if you liked the video and you like these types of videos, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of this type of video, especially. I don't really do a lot of these patch note videos. This is my first one, so, you know, if you guys like it, I'll definitely do some more. But anyway, I'm Bro Right Show, and I'm out.